All right, welcome back to the Knives Fest channel. It is 7:45 p.m. Eastern time on the East Coast, and that means it is time for Blue Monday Knives Fast KFLive right here, 7:45 p.m. Eastern every Monday night on YouTube. And let's get started, guys. It is that time, so say hello to Ren and Stimpy, Powder Toast Man, Log TV, Choo Choo, Charlie Brown, Gimli, me, and you, and here we go. So very, very cool. I like this new way of starting things. We've already got 46 people in here. Get it started a little bit early and go from there. Keith, I did turn my mic on, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so let's see. I see Gary Graham, Chris Hinkle, Mike Curtis, channel member, Robert Raynone. Yep, there we go. JR Miz, hello, Junior Miz, Mr. Keith the Knife Freak, another channel member, and JR is as well. Paul Bessemer, Freak Show, Byron Kennedy, both channel members as well. Pedro Armstrong, B Shady, also a channel member. Dan B, David Helka, also one of those there channel members. Guys, if you want to know how to do that, you just go down below and you hit join, and you can support the channel. It helps with shipping, helps with giveaways, it helps with any number of things, and I appreciate all of you however you can support. Frank is another one of those as well. Hello, Frank. Hello, Five Door. Hello, T Fetch. What's going on? Rusty Knife Lover has been a member for a long time and is. Hey, Tim B, who's also a member. Marcos Gamma, hello, sir. Aries EDC is also a member. Have you sold that rock hopper yet? I hope so. I haven't gotten a look. Chase, what is going on, sir? Mike McLaughlin eating pizza and being a channel member. There you go. David Tooley, also a fine, upstanding member of the channel member pit crew. Oh, Father is here. What is going on, Mr. Oh, Father guy? Good to see you, sir. Very cool. Xander, what is going on? Another one of those. Oh, the rock hopper's still available. No, not rock opera, rock hopper. It's a Warncliffe style fixed blade over on Aries EDC's Etsy. Hey, Ryan Dye, what is going on? 60 people in here, guys. Make sure as you you're coming in. If I could talk, you're hitting that thumbs up. Very, very cool. Got my real cool dad mug here. You can't even see it. It's like totally blown out, but very cool. I grilled steaks for dinner tonight. They were wonderful. Why didn't you bring me one, or why didn't you call me? I'd have come. No, we had taco night. The mother-in-law and all those folks did. My wife and sister-in-law did tacos, so we did family taco night. Definitely check out Aries EDC. He's got I think at least a couple of fixed blades up for sale, so check him out for sure. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure. Hey, Paper Tiger. What is going on? Hey, Marco. What is going on? Another channel member. Man, Robbie W. Hello, sir. Oh, you're in Asheville. Well, that's a little further drive for me there, Freak Show. Just a little further drive. That's right. You're there. That's right. You get a good week, man. Excellent. I hope you get some sharpening done and some fun. Jim Miller, did I say hello to you? I don't think I did. Well, hello, and thank you for being a channel member as well. NFK20, what is going on? All right, we got a bunch of people in here. If you guys didn't notice from that opening graphic, we are going to have, some Divo action going tonight. This beautiful baby, and we're going to talk about it more. And it's two brothers or sisters or whatever. The Divo Growler V2 in the blue aluminum, the carbon fiber, and the white G10 will be going on sale on, what is that, Thursday? Thursday at noon at White Mountain Knives only, and you can use code KNIVESFAST for 10% off. So I thought we'd have Colin on. I tried to get Kevin to come on too, but that guy's always got something going on or some reason why he can't come on. No, I'm just kidding. Illuminati has gifted a membership. He gave it to Drink Water. There you go. Thanks, Blue. Appreciate you, brother. There is your Daleka salute. Man, Todd Carr, hello, sir. Good to see you as well. Lots of folks. Hey, James Alton. I don't think I said hello to you either. I should have. So I apologize. Maybe I did. I don't know. Something, it always happens so fast. I can't tell whether I said hello or not. There you go. Drink water. Hello, hello. I'll drink some tea instead. Which tea is mostly water with some stuff in it. So, that works. All right. Hey, Kresk, what's going on, man? Good to see. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to talk Divo. We're also going to, if you guys don't know, Colin, especially if Kevin doesn't show up, we can just talk to Colin about whatever, which means we're not just tied to, whatever Kevin wants to talk about, for Pete's sake. So we can talk about CM knife designs as well, like the Tuya Mutt, which is available. And he's obviously the Kubi Royal is now available in a titanium version at Kubi's website. So plenty of stuff to talk about with Colin, and we will have some fun. Dr. Drew Dude, hello. There you go. Hey, Anessa, what is going on? Good to see you as well. Well, I do not, obviously, Colin said he was going to be here closer to 8. So, yeah, Ryan Dye is going to get it started for us. Let's everybody go through now. I'm going to do my best. There's a lot of people in here. We'll see if I can get all these in. And hey, Andrew Hobbard, another awesome channel member. Good to see you as well. I don't think he's moving yet, is he? No, I think he's at a family dinner tonight. I don't think he's moving just yet. But yeah, start dropping your pocket checks and we will go from there. I'm going to go to my bottom screen here because it's easier to read. Rusty's got the Mad Pow Cloth Works. No, we'll try to do it here. Plaid Hank, Olight i3T EOS, Fisher Space Pen, Kershaw Pry Tool, Blade HQ exclusive, Spyderco Shaman and CPM M4, and my Carta and a Finch Chernobyl. And if you guys don't follow Rusty on Instagram, you can see his cool pocket checks every day. Very, very cool. Spyderco Delica for Junior Miz, and a Tempest Microburst and a Damascus Rock Hopper. Ooh, Aries. Oh, very nice. Cleaning up after a family cookout. There you go, Andrew. Let's see. Tempest Pinion and a CDC Hansen. Jim's picture was great today as well. Andrew's showing off at the family cookout with a Aries, Koenig Arius, if I can talk. Went to bike ride with my dad today, says Anassa, so I took the Kaiser Original super light, so it was perfect. Shout out to Dose of Drew for that one. Very cool. MKM Isonzo for Mr. Tim B. Chernobyl Ant, and from Finch, and a Victorinox Classic SD and an Olight i3T. All that for Tim B. Axial Shift in Magna Cut, and a Chavez 229 kick stop for Chase. Hello, Chase. Good to have you here as well. Delica in 20 CV for Ryan, who started us off right. Very cool, Ryan. Big Reds Kaiser Slicer Xander 1. Very cool. And that is a cool looking knife. Max Ace Rock and Rosecraft Clinch River Swayback for Byron Kennedy. Byron, your profile picture there always makes me smile. You got a big old smile on your face there. There you go. We Evoke and my Mama arrived today from South Africa. Very cool. That's awesome, Mike. McNeese Mac 3.5 for Robert Raynone. Robert, please tell me if I'm getting that wrong, man. I'm trying. I am not good at pronouncing names. I'm terrible. Shaka 2, Skaha 2, and a Leatherman Wave for $5. I had Keith's Skaha 2 in here for review. Very cool. Benchmade Bug Out and a Case Blue Corn Cob Jig Barlow for James. Awesome. Received a Giant Mouse Ace Rio in G10 and Magna Cut. My first Magna Cut blade. Who knew USPS did deliveries on Labor Day? I didn't know that. I didn't check my mail, so maybe I should go do that. Freshly sharpened and clean Grant Gripper is all I have today. Is that one serving you well, Jeremy? I hope so. Very cool. Kubi Durock, Baby Banter, Phoenix PD36R. Joe's always got a cool Phoenix flashlight. Case Trapper with Caribbean Blue Bone. Those are so beautiful. Matthew Russell has that today. Hey, Chuck Weaver, what's going on? Case Sodbuster Jr., Case Peanut, and Classic SD for our friend Mike Curtis. titanium Mannix 2 EMP relative, and a titanium Ohio River Jack for Robbie W. Very cool, Robbie. Awesome. Oh, Father's got his Warrior Mini 2, Roboto 2, and a Patriotic Skull. Junkin' Genius Hank. Very cool. Awesome, awesome. All right. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody here. David Tooley sporting that Tempest Pinion, Spyderco Para 3, QSP Penguin, and a Kaiser Drop Bear. Wow, David, that's quite the carry. 2 Orion Cetus in black and green micarta for Sunny. Very cool. Got double-fisted Orion Cetus. By the way, if you guys did not hear, you can get 10% off at orionknives.com with code KNIVESFAST. So you can get, I think it's, what is it now? The Cetus, the G10 Cetus is like $45 or something. Yep. Hey, Kelly Weaver, what's going on, man? Blow it out your butt. What did I miss? Okay. It's getting violent in here. No, not quite. Welcome, Mike's mother. Which Mike's mother is in here? Hello, Mike's mother. All right, Petrified Fish. Petrified Fish Victor Civivi Odd 22 and a Pony Stout for Mr. David Helka. Very cool. Divo Stout original, old geezer, old gangster, old whatever, in aluminum and satin, Quist Vanish, titanium SEG. I don't know what the SEG means. Oh, Sagaiha. Gotcha. Sog PowerPoint and Fidget Boy. All that for B Shady. Very cool. Hey, Nick. Nick's carry is his Koenig Arius Flipper Delete. Yeah, if I was ever going to get one, it would be a Flipper Delete for sure. Just still way out of the price range I can really handle. So maybe someday. Todd Carr's got a Leatherman Surge, an SD Classic, a Gerber Diamond Shard, a Cold Steel 8010, Kaiser Escort 20 CV, OG Benchmade Mini Freak 5th Pocket, Artisan Sea Snake, Olight one IR2 and an I3T and an O-Pin Mini. Wow, Todd, man, come on. No, that was me. Let's see. Hey, Stacy's Bolster Blades, good to see you. Keith's got a Dolica today, of course. Got it. Carrying my Victorinox XLT and the Boomer IM for T-Fetch. Okay. I'm not sure about that one. Please pause while you fill your coffee mug. Okay. Petrified Fish Bunta for Pivotal Blades. Very cool. Welcome, Pivotal Blades. I like your little logo there. Very cool. Oh, it looks angry. The greatest knife in the world. Yeah, there you go. Well, you know, Mike, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell which mic. Divo Mash version 1 in reverse tux for Paper Tiger. All right, I think I got everybody. Mini Sheepdog and a Palm Pepper Spray for Chris Hole. Hey, Chris Hole, been a bit since I've seen you in here, I think. Maybe I'm crazy, but could be. Shootout for yard work today, Carlito 555. Hello, welcome. I see some new names tonight, and we're already up to 78 people. How cool is that? So thank you. Hey, Rob G. Very good to see all the new folks here. All right, let's see what I've got today. There we go. Got the Arctic Storm Fat Carbon Artisan Orion today. Just a fantastic, thin, slicey, beautiful knife with ridiculous action and just beauty. And it's a bigger knife, which means Casey likes it. Yep. All right. Second knife in the other pocket today, if I can get. Oh, wait. Gary Graham says he's carrying a Smith. Wait, what'd that say? Portable. I'm carrying a Smith's portable. I'm carrying a gotcha, crescent holder or flipper. I'm carrying a Swiss Army knife and carrying a flint and steel. Okay, Gary. Very cool. He's got a little bit of everything today. I like a little salt on my sheepdog. There you go, Mike. Oh, no, you're good. I mean, unless somebody else had a problem with what you were saying. Yeah, there's a little bit of Arctic storm today. As a matter of fact, here's the next one, which is the Gunslinger Jack from Jack Wolf Knives, the only locking Jack Wolf so far, or at least for now. I don't know when there'll be another one, but this is the only locking one for now. And it is in beautiful blue Arctic Storm Fat Carbon, which is absolutely my favorite. And then third knife in the pocket today is deciding it doesn't want to be shown. Who's that? Hey, John Henniger, what's up? Good to see you. Mike Emler totally trashed Benchmade on. Well, I don't know what to do, man. They just came out with a new Infidel for like $650 in S30 and G10. I have been one of the people saying, look, we're going to leave the prices to the consumers. You guys will either support it or not support it, and then Benchmade will have to make a decision, okay? I'm not one to sit here and say the price is totally stupid, but in this case, $650 for S30 and a colored, I mean a dyed coated blade and G10 is crazy. There you go. So yeah, I get it. You know, I like a lot of Benchmade knives. I do. Some of their knives are great. I like the 940, the 945. I like some of the others. Just I don't know what they're doing sometimes. But I didn't see Mike's. Hey, Carolyn. McGig. Oh, McGig. Oh, don't know, Carolyn. McGiggy. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm really stupid. Hey, Kirby Smith, what's going on? Glad you made it. Well, I just, I love, Benchmade's fine, but that particular thing is not my favorite. Okay. So the next one is the Feel Good Jack. And this is actually not in Arctic Storm. This is in the blue dark matter carbon fiber. I thought I saw Colin pop up, but he's gone now. We'll wait a minute. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, but here's the thing. If people are going to pay it, they're going to continue to do it. So it's just, that's the thing. The consumers get to decide. So if a price is somewhere and people buy it, then they're going to keep doing it. Colin, you okay, man? Give me a thumbs up if you're good to go, if you can hear me. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah, and here's the thing. $650 for S30 and G10 is not, I'm not going to go for it, but it's really up to each of you. All right, let's bring in our friend, Mr. Colin Mason Pierre, CM Knife Design, and of course, Divo Knives. We'll forget for a minute that he's friends and business partners with that lefty guy, but it's all good.
How's it going?
Doing good. We were just talking about, somebody said Mike Emler apparently went off on Benchmade. And, I don't get their pricing right now. I really don't. But people are paying it. So if people are paying it, they're going to keep doing it, and I'm not here to say don't do that, because that's up to your pocket. It's up to what you feel comfortable spending. But for me, for KC, an Infidel in S30 and with black coating and a flat dark earth G10 handle is not worth $650. So but
yeah,
you and I both know, you and I both know pricing is hard. It's hard. It really is. But go ahead.
It's truly, I mean, we always just base pricing on what we're being charged. It's like, or it's not, there's not a, it's a percentage that we decide that we're going to, and I think that's how most people.
Exactly right. Yeah, we all have a percentage. You're exactly right. Yeah. And sometimes we dance on either side of that percentage if we're comfortable with it, but typically I'm dancing on the low side, and it's because I'm crazy. And I get all the time, Colin. I get people, believe it or not, and this, and this is not, I'm not grinding an axe, I'm not doing anything, but I have a lot of microbursts left to sell. Okay. And I've had a lot of people tell me they're not buying them because they're too high. Okay. Because they can buy a you know, like a knife from Kubi or somebody directly with, you know, micarta and 14C for less. Okay. And I get it. The difference is you're not going to find titanium hardware on those knives. This is all titanium hardware, titanium backspacer, and the milling on the pivot and the contoured scales. 90% of those knives we're talking about have flat scales. Okay. All of those things are choices that cost me a little bit more. Plus, I'm not the manufacturer, which means I can't just make them and charge you. I have to mark them up if I want to make a buck or two. And so, you know, I get that all the time. And unfortunately, you know, we have to live with our choices. And I still feel like the price is set where it needed to be. And, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, that was a good price. I mean, that was,
yeah.
You know, anything. I mean, that was under $100, right? What were those?
Yeah, it was. They're right now. They're selling at 92 right now.
Yeah,
they were lower than that for the pre-order. They were 88 for the pre-order. So it's you know, I'm learning. You know, we're learning new things all the time. The Jetstreams, I did cut my margin a little less for the pre-order, a little more. I cut it further, deeper. And it is what it is. We're learning from it, and you know, it is what it is. But you know, if I were to turn around and take this same knife and I'm charging 200 for it, then that's my fault, because that's kind of tone deaf to the market. You know, nobody's going to pay 200 for a 14C knife, but because it's Benchmade, you know, I'm just going to say it. There are people that will buy the next Benchmade because they're Benchmade people, and that's just the way it is.
Benchmade fanboys are, and I have Benchmades. I like Benchmade.
I have 3 or 4 myself. 3, I think.
But there are people that are just, they will die on that hill, and whatever they sell, they'll buy, and they'll justify the cost. I mean, the Narrows was, I guess, the most recent, really controversial one, right? And that one, like, you know, to some degree, I've never handled one, so I don't know how it feels, but it's like, it is a different, it's the axis lock, but it's different. And that, I think it has a coil spring.
It's got the inline coil spring, right? Just like the Anthem does. My problem, I got to handle the Narrows at Blade Show. It was just too narrow for me. It was, it does, you know, when you start getting too thin on your scaled material, it starts to feel like it's pushing into your hand. And, you know, not, there you go. Thank you, Tim. By the way, hello to Big Red and hello to Mattisfaction. Good to see you guys. And thank you. Here I am on my soapbox, and somebody just bought a microburst. So whoever you are out there, thank you. I just saw that pop up, so I'll get that boxed up later this evening and headed your way. So that's the other thing. You know, people are telling me all the time, because now you can go Kubi selling titanium and 14C knives for $100. Just remember, I'm going to send mine to you in a couple of days, and theirs will take like 2 weeks to get to you. But it's all good.
We all have a piece of the market. An aspect of like customer service that you know, you might be paying a little bit of a premium to have a, you know, they know that they can reach out to you and be like, hey, I got a problem, or hey, I want to exchange it, or whatever.
And I've done that a lot, for not a lot. I've done that a few times for people. There haven't been a lot to deal with, because I catch them before they get out of here. But cooking barbecue. What kind of barbecue we got going, Mattisfaction? We're going to see if we're going to get on a plane and head out there. So, but yeah, definitely, guys. This is Colin. Definitely check out his Instagram. Tim put that up there. Check out Divo Knives. Yeah, the main reason I asked you to come on, well, A, I haven't had you on forever. B, it's even more fun because there's no Kevin here talking over the top of you. Jeez.
God, right?
Yeah, I gotta do that. But guys, Thursday at noon, is that right? Noon? Yeah. At White Mountain Knives, and that's noon Eastern. You got the Divo Growler version 2. And that is the carbon fiber one there. And those are 109, I believe. And
Yep,
this is
109.
also 109. Yep.
And then this one is the 99
Stormtrooper, or we can't call it
White
that, but
Peak
you get
Man.
it. Yeah.
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 And of course,
Jim,
I think you have a discount code, right? For
yes. Yeah. So at White Mountain Knives, guys, you can use any of the codes, but I ask that if you watch the channel, enjoy the channel, definitely consider using Knives Fast at checkout, and that'll get you 10% off. So these are going to come on down a little bit. Yep, they'll all be under 100. So, and I got to tell you, this is the thing, and this is what we were talking about. And this coming, Colin's been doing this. How long have you been before Divo? How long have you been designing knives?
Oh, 4 years now or something.
Yeah. But it's still, every time you do this, you learn something. I mean, you really do. And and what I love about you guys, by the way, the Stout V2 is absolutely unbelievably good. It is the grind on that blade, the way that one came out, and what you guys did, the simple things were, you contoured those scales, you made them feel better in my hand, you made it a little bit thinner, a little bit taller. And to me, that took this one from a very good knife to a phenomenal knife. And then you add Best Tech into the mix, and
Yep. I mean, the original Stout was, it was, people loved it in general, but there were, it was kind of boxy, it was kind of thick, it was like, it had its issues. And I mean, this is pretty subtle contouring on the V2, but it's like,
oh yeah, and it doesn't take
really
much.
Does wonders for ergonomics, and it just makes it feel so premium. And then, of course, any kind of micro milling that you can add to stuff really kind of elevates it a little bit, And Best Tech is amazing. I mean, we QC'd all these ourselves, and there was like a handful that we had to set aside from Best Tech. I mean, they're awesome.
That's great. You see this? Cheeto says Kevin's playing with his bidet again. There you go. Hey, Cheeto. We are at 96 folks in here. Thank you guys for all being here. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take a lot. I mean, this is the Jetstream, and you can see it is it's not a big contour. And see, these are all, Colin, this goes into it as well. Lots of decisions you have to make. So, for example, I like fairly thin stock. I made this one 3 millimeters even, but you can't really do a hollow grind with that because it's a little too thin for a hollow. Same thing goes for the scales. You can make them super contour, but then you got to make them thicker, so all these decisions play into all of this stuff. And I think, to me, the difference between the original Growler, which, let's be honest, the biggest difference here is the OEM, but again, the difference between the Growler, you guys learned on the hole is way better. And then we have contoured scales instead of flat, and the blade, I don't know, I don't have calipers, but it seems thinner to me. It's just a better
all the way
knife.
down to the
no jimping on the first. And plenty of jimping on the second.
Feels like it's a whole different, it's a whole different knife, man. Kubi absolutely killed it with it. They did such a good job.
Yeah, and talk about learning. I feel like from when I started with Kubi with the pinion to now, they've upped their game big time. I really do.
I wonder if they've just been doing a lot more OEM work because, working with,
I think so,
small companies like us, I'm sure they're learning some things too, just about like what the community wants. I think we probably have our pulse on it a little bit better than they do. And
right.
I mean, they're making the knives, but if we're screaming at them like, hey, we need this to be a hollow grind and we need this to be a contoured scale, it's going to really help. They do listen.
Well, that's like the original conversation on the pinion. I said I wanted nested liners, and they actually asked me why, and I'm like, because that's the way knife people prefer it. and it makes the knife, I can make the knife thinner. I can make it feel different in my hand. And they're like, oh, and now I've noticed they've done a few knives with nested liner. So it's, it's just, so I'm going to let you answer this question. I got answers for this, but I want to know how you guys more than me. I've worked with QSP. I've worked with Kubi, and I got one more in the works with a different company. But you guys have worked with 3 or 4. So why do you choose one over another for a different project, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, it really, I think we start off with a price point we're trying to hit. If it's, Best Tech has been our go-to for premium stuff. They do an amazing job, and they're also great to work with and to communicate with. That's a big thing, and they're super responsive. We have met them at Blade Show now, so we kind of feel like we know there's a face to the name now, and we kind of know who we're working with. And I mean, they're great. They are expensive,
and that's right. And that's the other part, is forming a relationship. I mean, it really is. You try to get to the point that you can have that business relationship and really get to understand each other. And then for me, at least, I've kind of settled into a Kubi role here because it's
and they're great too. Kubi's amazing to work with, and they're one thing that you learn is like QCing these knives once you get them, like how, if you get a 600 knives from an OEM, how easy is the QC process. And that really does play a huge role. And obviously, like, we want you guys to get the best knives that you can, that we can offer. And, we want it to be easy on us QCing them. Best Tech is amazing at that. Kubi's also amazing at that.
I did get some with some issues this time, but they're fixing them, and we're going to be getting them back soon. And that's good. So that's a great, Malcolm, I'm going to come back to your question, because that was definitely a question I had. So all right, so Robert, I want to try to answer your question, but I'm going to answer it in 2 ways. So we're going to introduce you guys to another thing here. So Colin is not just Divo Knives, he's also CM Knife Design. And he's done the Kubi Royal. He's done the Hide. Now those, if you notice, he's also just done the Tuya Mutt. Those you can see are branded as Tuya, Kubi, whatever it is. Who else have you worked with?
Best Tech.
You did a Tucson and a Best Tech.
In Tucson, yep.
Yeah. So those are all branded. Those are all branded that company. And the way that works is you sign an agreement. They get the rights to that specific design, and to make it for that period of time, whatever the agreement says. We're not going to read Colin's agreement online here, but basically that's what's happening, is they're agreeing for that period of time to do that. And he has basically given them the right to produce the knife. So, and then obviously he gets some payment back for that. Now the other way, so if it's Divo Knives, the other way is they are putting it under the Divo brand, and then they own that entirely. So hopefully that
the main difference there is that it's you take on basically zero risk if you license them the design. You don't pay for prototypes. You don't do anything. You just give them the design. They say, we'll pay you X percentage for, everything sold. And, at some point you get a check or a PayPal thing from them or whatever. And it's hard to, there are guys out there for sure that make a good living doing that, I'm sure, but it's not easy when you have like a couple of designs floating around out there to make meaningful, you
have to have you kind of got to get a bunch out there, and there are guys doing it. And some of those are the ones that have kind of got me looking in that direction, like yourself. We've talked, Sharif, we've talked, Dirk Pinkerton and I have talked, and I'm dabbling my feet in it, and we'll see where it goes. But saucy fingers. Nice, Matt. Do they also give you so again, Tactical Terry, it's kind of up to the agreement. By the way, real quick, Anasso, thank you so much for the super chat. There is your Dalika salute. Appreciate that. So where do they give you one of the knives? So each agreement has different things in it. With if you get a sample or you get whatever, I don't know, Colin, what's your kind of thought there?
My I've always gotten at least one. I find that if I ask for more, they'll send them to me, and I'm just, I've gotten 3 maybe, and I'll pass them around. I'm helping them out with marketing them and selling them. So yeah, with the latest Royal, I have this is the blacked out titanium one here.
Oh gosh, see, that looks great. Is that DLC on that? On the handle?
Yeah. Yep.
That's nice. I like the lightning,
nice.
The flame anodized one too.
Yeah, the flame anodized one is cool too. And these are M390. These are really, these are great. They did a good job. But they did 3 versions of it. They did this one, the flame anode one, and then just kind of a plain tie one with blue hardware. And they sent me one of each. And those other 2 are being passed around right now. I haven't sent this one anywhere yet. Because the other thing with working with OEMs in this way, where it's when you're licensing them the design, it's not as collaborative. Like they're not
right.
You don't get prototypes. There's no like approvals, at least in my experience. They're not sending you stuff and being like, is this what you want? They have the design. They do with it what they will, and it's that they can do whatever they want. So like I didn't. For this one, it has like, it's all blacked out and has this kind of like gold anode hardware on it.
Right.
Which I probably wouldn't have chosen, but that's fine. It's their design to do whatever they want to with. But that's that's the other thing with like licensing.
And your hope at that point is they're making good enough decisions where people will buy them. So exactly. Yeah, it's that's kind of the way it is. Yeah, that's interesting. Again, I'm not at liberty to talk about anything I might have in the works, but at least up front on the design phase, we're having some of those conversations. So yeah, we'll see where they end up. But yeah, that if they make 2 or 3 or 4 versions of it, you're right. It's just they're going to do what they're going to do. Yeah. So yeah, that's interesting. So yes,
Frank, the Mutt Tuya is the OEM. They're not part of a larger group that I'm aware of, at least. I think they're their own. They manufacture their designs. They have some of their own designs, but they're the manufacturer. Dave Warren.
The Mutt is also an absolutely fantastic knife.
Oh, thanks, man. I don't even have one here. Mine's being passed around right now, but
yeah, I sent it back to you, but you must have got it right back out, huh?
Yeah, I got it. I sent it right back out like the next day.
There you go. Well, you got to do it, man. You got to do it. I know they still have some left, and there's some coming to White Mountain and Blade HQ, so that's cool. But yeah, Tuya is their own dog. Now, if you guys don't know this guy named Dave Warren, Dave is the man as far as Tuya US, and I'm sure, Colin, you dealt a lot with Dave, and that one came out great. It really did.
Yeah, that's it. And the Mutt is a collab between Dave and I. Like I sent him. This has been going on a long time. I sent Dave. This was way before the days of Divo, and I sent Dave this design that I was basically just cold calling these people saying, "Do you want to? Do you want this design?" And he liked it, but we made some changes. We worked together on it, so that's why his logo is on it as well. It's a collab between us two for sure.
Right. By the way, I'm also learning to check your ego at the door, because sometimes you'll be really excited about one and you'll get the nah, not really our thing kind of thing back. I've gotten that a couple times now, but so it's all good. It's like yeah, okay,
you gotta be
keep working, Casey. Yep. So that's also a very interesting one. There you go. Hey, what's going on, Zach Attack? Good to see you. Thank you. We got 100 people in here, so make sure you're hitting that thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you being here. I saw another question. And it ran off
Anna
my
So, I
screen.
believe, asked about if OEM had ever changed something drastically on the design. I've had Tucson. I mean, when I was first getting started, I worked with Tucson on a couple of designs, and they're interesting as an OEM. They just they're not as sort of communicative as a company like Best Tech or Kubi.
Right.
It's not you like send them you DM them on Instagram basically, and like that's how you work with them. So I sent them one of my designs with them. They changed fairly drastically. I mean, I had it as a top flipper, and they did a thumb stud on it. It was they changed a lot, and I still liked it, but I just didn't quite connect with it like I hoped I was going to.
Yep. Colin does do CAD. Let's let him tell you what he does. Personally, I draw and then I work with somebody else to help me with CAD. I'm not at that point yet, but Colin, go for it.
So I'm pretty still novice with CAD. I do most of my heavy lifting, like design wise, in Illustrator. And you can work out a really good
graphic design program, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a graphic designer that's my day job, and so I know the Adobe suite like the back of my hand. So that's where I naturally went when I started designing. And you can get a real long way with Illustrator and doing 2D design, and to the point where you can pivot the blade, you can make sure it looks good open and closed, you can figure out where the lock bar interfaces with the blade, you can figure out where the detent ball hole and all that kind of stuff is. There's a lot of things that happen when you start opening and closing the knife, that you realize, oh, this finger coil won't work because the detent ball will fall off the blade when I open it or whatever. There's all these things. It's a puzzle that you got to put together. And so I do all that in Illustrator, and then I typically will do like a rendering in Photoshop, and that's where I'll play around with materials and kind of color combos and handle blade finishes, that kind of stuff. And then depending on the OEM, we have OEMs that kind of prefer to do the CAD themselves, because I'm not pro.
I'm dealing with that right now with some of them.
If I send them a CAD file, they're going to probably end up redoing a good bit of it, or fixing a lot of my mistakes or whatever. So anyways, most of the work is done in Illustrator. I'm, frantically trying to get better in CAD, because I think that's
you and I've talked about that. I want to learn Fusion and see if I can get that way, but just not there yet. And that kind of goes into Rusty's question here. And I think Colin's the right one to answer this. So how much of the design do you do overall, or full mechanical engineering? I think engineering is an interesting word in this case, but let's see what you say to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't consider myself an engineer at all.
Yeah, me neither.
I
am an engineer. I'm a television engineer, but I'm not a knife engineer.
But anyway. Not a mechanical engineer by any stretch.
Nope.
It's I'm a designer, and I feel like I approach it from a design standpoint, and there is a lot of engineering, obviously, that goes into a knife that we as designers have to sort of trust that the manufacturer is going to do. Now, there are my Best Tech collab, the Tonic that I did, that's the backlock. I had that, and I made this very clear with Best Tech when I sent them this file, but I had this idea of putting this little ball bearing on the backlock face to interface with the blade as you opened and closed it. And I sent them, I was like, you guys are going to have to work out a lot of the sort of, you're going to have to do a lot of trial and error on this, because I don't have the ability to make a prototype. I'm not like, doing this in CAD. This is
right.
this is 2D rendering here. I'm sending you, like, let me know if it works. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world.
We'll come up with something else. Right. Exactly.
So all that to say, like, I think a lot of us say, like, the manufacturer is doing a lot of engineering. We're doing the design, and we have to trust them to do a good job with it. And we do, when we get prototypes from them, we say, like, hey, this is weird, or fix this, or we need more access here, do this and this, and they'll make those changes. So
I think the right way to say it is we might have an idea of what specific thing, like we want an internal stop pin, or we want an external stop pin, or we want those kinds of this type of pivot, or we want a D shape, we want this, we want an open construction or a longer backspacer or whatever the things are. And then then they're going to take it, and and he's exactly right. In some cases, I've sent CAD files to a manufacturer, and they've been like, "Yeah, we'll make our own," just like you said. And it's just and I think the answer, Sonny, to your question is he's a graphic designer, and that's his formal training. But Colin, anything else to say there?
Yeah, no formal. I mean, I went to school for design,
right,
art and design, and got a degree in that. But I always sort of consider the knife design stuff to be a little bit more industrial design, which there are people that get a degree in that. So I don't, I always approach it from a visual design standpoint, of course, like ergonomics and all that kind of stuff too, I'm thinking about, but I'm a designer, and no formal industrial engineering training or anything.
Same here. Yeah. And I'm not even a designer. I'm just a TV engineer, but anyway, radio and TV. Mark says, how much would I want to hear your answer to this. How much would a US OEM increase the cost? The bigger problem is finding one, but I think the answer is somewhere between a quarter higher to almost double. But anyway, Colin, that's just a kind of a round thing.
We're in the process right now of getting a knife done here in the US, and it's significantly more expensive. I mean, it's just the reality of it. And, we want so badly to have more knives made here. And, and we're learning how challenging it can be. I mean, this is the company we're working with is great. And, I have no problems with them necessarily, but it's going to be like, significantly more expensive than something like this. And I think people, in fact, here I have the prototype. This is the US Growler. And this does feel like another step above this.
It
this
really
is
does. Yeah.
This is kind of, this is in the upper echelon of what China has to offer here. And, this certainly does feel to me to be like a level above it. Just in every way. It's wonderful.
Would you actually, and I think we can say the way US OEMs are doing it, US manufacturers are doing them, the majority of them, not big US manufacturers, but the ones we'd be working with, I think what they're doing is more custom work than anything. It's really, they are quote unquote mass producing them, but for the most part, it's more custom than it is, mass produced in China kind of thing.
Yeah. It's sort of, it's as if you were to, it's like a CNC, like Koenig or something. I'm not saying this is Koenig, but it's like, it's the same process where it's like, it's a CNC thing. I'm sure there's a ton of handwork involved and finishing and, clearly care put into the prototyping and everything. It feels amazing. I haven't been to their facility. I don't know what exactly they're doing, but
Yeah, I don't either. Yep. I'm just saying it feels that way. Right.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite steel when you're designing? I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place. So what is your thought?
I mean, you know, we in our high end stuff, we tend to like the. I mean, this is going to be in Van X, so that's like a, you know, a steel that we all know why it's special. It's I think a lot of people are kind of have a little bit of M390 fatigue, so
Yep.
we kind of stay away from M390, I guess. I mean, we've used 20 CV before. We're starting to do a lot of stuff in S90V.
I was a
Some of the,
little, speaking of M390 fatigue, I was a little shocked to see a Kaiser come through in Rex 45. I'm like,
yeah,
what? Kevin sent this to me, and I'm like, are you kidding? But yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
yeah, I
That's
think
a
everybody's trying to
Moto
do
design.
some. Yeah, I talked to Paul about it a little bit. He seems like a pretty cool dude, man.
Yeah, he's
But yeah, I
awesome.
mean, and it's a nice big but very thin design. But yeah, by the way, look how thin that blade. I mean, it's just and it is a cutter. But yeah, it's in Rex 45. It's like, wow, okay, didn't expect that from Kaiser.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
No,
It's like
not at all.
it's interesting because sometimes we'll just be like, "Hey, what steels do you have on hand?" You know, I think with the exception of a few steels, like all these OEMs can get their hands on whatever they want, but um, you know, oftentimes you'll see the same cast of characters with steels. There's like S30, S35, M390, 20CV, and then you got like the 14Cs and the 154 CMs. These are 154 CM, by the way, which is a great, like, we find that 14C 28N and 154 CM really kind of fit that like sub $100.
Yep. Yeah, you know, it's those two are real good. I'm excited to have the wow, Casey, the Jetstream in 154. So
Yeah.
cannot wait for this guy to hurry up and get here. So just I kind of flock to the same stuff. So we got a question about the mash, of course, and about a premium pony stout.
Yeah.
Will you guys be doing another mash run at some point, maybe with the super steel or a premium pony stout?
We are working on another mash run. We just got that conversation going with the OEM. I don't know that we're gonna do it in a super steel at this point. I think we're still trying to keep the mash at a good price point, and we're gonna probably do this on our own. As in, like, we were doing it. The mash was a Blue Creek Knives thing, so I think we're gonna try to do it on our own, which, you know, keeping the cost down just makes it a little less painful for us to get it going. And we are doing a premium pony stout that is somewhere in the works, but that'll be a titanium liner lock. So same construction, just titanium scales, and I believe we are doing a S90V blade on that. But don't quote me on that one.
That, I mean, S90V is a good steel as well. Very cool. That's awesome. I mean, the pony stout to me was the first time that I really felt a knife that had anything to do with Kevin that actually was thin enough for me. You know, I'm like, yay,
Yeah.
okay. Because, you know, like I said, the stout was just a chunky beast. And I don't dislike the stout. I carry the stout. I like the stout. It's just the pony is just like, yes, this is I dig this a lot. So milled clip.
Yeah, that
for
was
the
just
next
one of those
match,
designs that translated well into a smaller form factor.
100%. It's
Yeah.
a little bulldog looking thing when you're choked up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just blades sticking out, you know. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Milled clip for the next mash, please, says Nick. So there's a request.
Probably won't happen for the next mash, but that is on our that's on our list. We're trying to get another run of the mash out quickly, and we're trying to avoid having to do prototypes because that adds like a month or whatever to production.
It does. Yep. So, all right. So guys, we're gonna jump back to a question that was asked about 20 minutes ago. And Colin, I think you're a really smart dude, and I like talking to you. Why in the crap would you choose to work with Kevin? See, I reworded your question. Whoever you were, their question was very nice. How did it come about you working with Lefty? And my question is, why did it come about? No, I'm kidding. Kevin, look, you guys know I love Kevin. He's a good dude. So
no,
but
Kevin's awesome. And
yeah.
I mean, the whole thing started with the original version of this, which was the Royal, the liner lock version of the Royal. Someone sent it to, or no, it was a Tucson actually that someone sent to him, and we started talking on Instagram, and I sent him my Royal to check out, and he liked it, and we just got to chatting, and he had a design which ended up being the stout. Sketched out, and he just said,
which
like, hey,
didn't look anything, in fairness, didn't look a thing like the stout.
I took some creative liberties with it to make it actually function as a knife, but the spirit of the stout was in this sketch for sure.
Yes, and, it was.
And I sent him a rendering of it, and I think he just kind of was like, well, this feels like it's kind of our knife now, and it, I don't think he felt right just taking it and running with it or whatever. So,
right.
So we started chatting, and that's kind of how Divo started. And then, it really, I mean, the relationship is great because we have such complementary sort of skill sets. Like I'm bad at everything related to like promoting myself, promoting the brand. I'm not super active on Instagram.
Kevin is the PT Barnum. Yeah,
like I'm not like a in front of the camera kind of guy. So I design them, he sells them to some degree. I mean, obviously, like everything we do is a collaboration. Like where I'm not just saying here's what we're gonna design. Like there's a lot of input from him, and so I consider everything that we do to be a collaboration. But he's a brilliant salesman and marketer, and you need that.
No doubt, he's the PT Barnum of our generation, man. Good grief. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Spider G loves the Royal. I mean, the Royal is a fantastic design. It really is.
Thanks, man.
And or as Stevie would call it, the Royale with cheese. So yeah, very, 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 very ergonomic and sleek design. And you know me, I'm not much of a front flipper guy, but it definitely it works for me. If the geometry works, then I can do it,
Yeah.
So very cool. Colin clearly is quite a fellow and needed a business partner who like to hear themselves talk. He found the perfect guy. That's it.
Sure. That's really true.
Yeah, but I mean, Kevin, look, here's the thing, and Colin would tell you, Kevin's got he's not just, I mean, he does have some decent ideas in the knife.
Oh, he's got great ideas. And a lot of the
marketing side, but yeah.
No, and a lot of the stuff that we do, it's like it'll be Kevin saying like, hey, let's do like for the nip, I think he was like, let's try a teeny little micro knife kind of thing, and again, I think there was a Kevin sketch probably along the way somewhere when it came to this, but it's like I think he has his pulse on the trends or whatever, probably more than I do. So, and I like just designing,
that's awesome. Steve, I hear you, man. I got a couple of them out there as well. Thank you for being a part of those pre-orders for sure. And I'm glad you're here, man. I know your work schedules kept you from being on the stream a lot, so that's cool. Wait a minute. Really? I won a sketch of the stout in one of Kevin's giveaways. It was an early do you have it framed, Andrew, or did you burn it, or what are we talking about here?
Wow.
That's interesting. I didn't know he gave that away. That's was it on a napkin, Andrew?
That's awesome. I have that sketch still somewhere.
Do you? Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, best napkin cat designer ever. Yep, that's it, Kyle. Oh my goodness. So again, guys, before it escapes, let's just double back on the growler a little bit. These will be only at White Mountain Knives. They will not be available anywhere else. You've got the blue aluminum, which, by the way, Kevin, actually, this is another thing about Kevin, guys. He's not going to hide crap from you. He's going to tell you, and I will tell you as well, that this coat, not coating, Casey, this hard ano does scuff up just a little bit. Okay, so you're going to get honesty there, which is cool.
Yeah.
So just bear in mind they're going to scuff up a little bit. Go ahead.
It's an interesting finish on these. They feel,
it is.
If you felt them, it has a Sebenza.
Not chalky. What's the word? Yeah.
It's like a sandblast versus a bead blast or something. Like it has a unique feel to it. And just like a Sebenza or any of those sort of like, sandblasted titanium knives, they snail trail. And I like that look. I mean, honestly, I have a Francosi on me right now that I've been carrying today that's like snail trailed up, and I love the way that looks. Gives it character over time.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
With this,
so far I've not had a lot of snail trails, just sort of scuffing along the edges.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I've gotten, and to me, it's absolutely not a problem.
Yeah.
Very cool, Rory. Oh, very cool. Yeah. He says he's going to be getting one on Thursday. So the three versions are the blue aluminum. These are all in 154. Blue aluminum with the sand wash finish, I believe is what we're calling this. And then the carbon fiber with satin. And then, which is that one, which has what color accents? Blue?
It's blue. Yep. Blue pivot collar, blue backspacer.
Very cool. And then the third one is the white G10 with the black wash, which, by the way, Kubi, I used to absolutely hate black wash, and they really made me like it.
I love their black. Their black wash is so good.
It's the best, pretty much. Yeah, it's I like it, and where I got it was on the first mash, and I'm like, okay, and that's where I decided to do one on the microburst. Because of that. Just it was so good. Yep. Hello, Brian F. Good to see you.
Yeah, I don't even have one of the V1 growlers around here anymore. I think we got rid of them all at Blade Show.
Well, I
wish I had one to compare.
There you go. I still do. I still have mine, but I bought this one from White Mountain Knives when they first came out. And, it's still got the same vibe and feel, same blade, same big old crazy blade. But again, huge difference in the fact that we've got taller, thinner scales and contouring, and the hole is smaller because that was kind of the big, people didn't like the hole. I'm included in that. That was my nitpick.
That was great feedback from people. And, we had prototypes. Like we were just I think we just got really used to like placing our finger just right to flick it open in that original
If the
one.
detent was harder, I don't think it would have ever been an issue. I literally think if the detent was a little bit stronger, I don't think it would have been a problem. Mine, I would call mine based on what you and Kevin were telling me. Mine's probably on the upper end detent wise, and it's still soft. I mean, it's still, and so again, big difference going to Kubi over here. Hey, Rory, thank you so much, man. I'm so glad you're here, brother. Thank you for the super chat. And there is your Daleka salute. Thank you, Rory, up there in the lovely land of Montana, which I need to get back to soon. So, yeah, you guys hit that like button for sure. So, I mean, I personally, I think it's good to see you guys making the changes and doing another run and not just saying, oh, the growler's done, because people really like the knife, but you guys decided it needed another chance. So I think that's pretty cool.
Matt said he liked the look of the big hole. You know what? And it's funny, Matt, because like when we go to Blade Show or any knife show for that matter, like, and you see all these people come by and like pick your knife up and play with it, like an insane, probably 90% of the people that come by our booth, we've always sort of designed this knife with the idea of like middle finger flicking it, like most of us do, right? So many people are like thumb rolling it open. These are like people that are a little bit more casual knife people, probably, that are just like in Atlanta or in wherever and swinging by, like, and the big thumb hole worked really good for like slow rolling open the knife. So there is it's not all terrible, but the thing was your finger would just kind of your middle finger would kind of fall through the hole if you tried to middle finger flick it. So
right.
Anyways, the narrower hole is fine for slow rolling it open too. But
for me, that was it. If you push that hole, then you tended to pop the detent before you wanted to pop the detent. But I agree with you. Everybody coming to the booth immediately picks up the pinion and either thumb rolls it or thumb opens it. And I'm like, what are you doing?
It's so funny to see how people interact with your knives when you see it like happen thousands of times a day. Hey, how's it going?
Mrs. Freak Show, thank you, Chrissy. I appreciate you. Great friend, great lady. There you go. There is your Delica salute. And thank you for 1 year of support. And of course, the chat wants to know, everybody that was at Blade Show, how's Diesel doing? Jeremy says he's getting big. So Diesel there, the Rottweiler. Yep.
And Chrissy is she won the at Blade Show 2 years ago. She won one of the customized original stouts that Knife Modders did, the purple one.
She says he's huge. Yep. Yeah, I saw that one. The Hulk. I think you guys are calling it the Hulk one or something like that. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Oh, look at there. Don Farmer gifted a membership. Thank you, Don. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. There is your Delica salute. It looks like Todd Carr is back to being a member. Very cool. Yep. She says she still carries that purple one. So very cool. That's awesome. So, all right. So, Colin, again, we don't want to look past it. Growlers on Thursday, noon.
Yeah.
Guys, Kevin doesn't like me to say this kind of stuff, but I'm just going to say it because it happens every time. They're going to go fast. Okay. That's my opinion. Colin probably feels nervous about it. Kevin feels, but KC, don't listen to these guys. They're going to go fast. So if you want one, I would say get in the first 30 minutes or so, especially I think if you want the carbon fiber one or the blue one, I would get
that's going to sell out fast. This carbon fiber is amazing. I mean, like, I know weave carbon fiber like this isn't as popular as it once was, but when it's contoured like that, it looks so good. And it feels good. It's really
gives you that offset in the pattern there when you contour it. It looks pretty cool. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, and all three of these, with your discount codes will be under $100. So
definitely check that out, guys. That is Thursday. Heck yeah, very cool, Brian. Yeah, if you guys get one, definitely let us know. That is so Mark asked this question a little bit earlier. We'll tackle this question real quick, and then we will my White Mountain code is Knives Fast, just plain old Knives Fast. That gets you 10% off and free shipping. So you mentioned earlier, Colin, people are starting to sour a little bit on M390. Why do you think that is? I think it's just like anything else. It just everything gets produced in what's popular, and then everybody's like, "Oh, I want something new now."
Yeah, there's definitely a fatigue with it, and it's the kind of go-to, at least for the past. I mean, still probably is, but for the past 5 5 years or something has been the go-to sort of premium steel. And I think there was a lot of, you know, when the HRC thing kind of came to light and people were like,
Yeah,
you know,
that's it too.
realizing that there's a lot of M390 out there that wasn't treated the way that it should be. You know, I think that kind of had a part in people souring on M390 a little bit. You know, you don't want to pay for a premium steel and have it perform like S30 or S35 or whatever what it's performing like. But mostly it's that like every knife in the world now has M390 on it. Even 20 CV, you know, is like the same thing as M390 chemically, but you just don't see it nearly as much. And I think people tend to get a little bit excited when they hear a 20 CV knife versus an M390 or you know, whatever. So I think, and also with the, you know, with MagnaCut and NX and all these other things that are sort of the new hot thing, people have moved on a little bit.
I agree. Thank you, Big Red. Appreciate you, brother. Eat and lurk. I like it. There is your Dolica salute. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Guys, still trying to get JB. Today is Labor Day. We were trying to get him to 10K by Labor Day. Yeah, it could still happen. If you're not subscribed to Big Red EDC, definitely go check him out. And love the guy. Jeremy Freak Show agrees with you there. He's like, people are off the main M390 train mostly because most companies can't heat treat it properly. And I think that's the thing we're hearing. MagnaCut is a little more consistent in the heat treat. And there you go. And Jeremy says 20 CV is also easier to heat treat because of the slight chemical difference. So, so I think that's it. I think, but to be honest with you, I honestly think we knife guys are probably overanalyzing that part of it that Jeremy's talking about. People are just like, well, I got 5 knives in M390. I want something different now. You know, I think
exactly,
you know, whatever it is. Yep.
And you know, there are knives like
M390 gets more Instagram likes. Okay. All right.
Probably. But you know, like 14C is I think notoriously easy to heat treat. You know, it's not as tricky as M390. I think it was I think 14C and 12C, those Swedish Sandvik steels, were originally made for razors, like to shave your face with. Where they would just like put them through a heat treat, you know, conveyor belt kind of thing. Don't quote me on this because I know that I've heard somebody say this before, but they're just chemically easier to heat treat and do it in big batches. And I think stuff like M390, stuff like D2, I think can be hard to heat treat correctly.
Yep.
And the ease of, you know, now that I'm a don't send me your knives for me to sharpen them, but I have sharpened my own knives enough now that I'm getting like comfortable with it. And I like, you know, being able to just get them like a laser beam by myself in 10 minutes versus like something like S90V or something that I still don't trust myself to do that. You know, I'd probably have to send it off to get somebody else who knows what they're doing to do it. But like, I like being able to just sharpen my own stuff myself. And, you know, like the rest of us, I have a million knives that I'm rotating through. So I'm not like dulling my 14C blades super quickly or anything.
Spider G would like to know if there's still anything. Now there was, I believe, wasn't there a button lock mash at Blade Show? Yes, there was. So
and that's going to be that's going to be a Kaiser knife that we licensed it to.
Very cool. There you go.
We're talking.
So you will have a Kaiser mash button lock. So there you go.
Yeah,
you heard it here. Yeah, I do remember when 440C was a big deal. Definitely. Yep. Colin, you can send me your dull knives anytime you want, says Jeremy. There you go. Guys, don't forget, by the way, if you follow, don't follow Freak Show over on Instagram, do that. And he does do a sharpening service. So if you guys want to get your knives sharpened, that guy is awesome at sharpening. His edges will hurt you, though. So be very careful. There you go. Let's hear it. Lush, lush, lush.
Lush, 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 baby. They're in production.
Very cool.
And this will be a traditional pocket knives exclusive.
Oh, very cool.
So I think we're going to have 3 different carbon fiber versions. These are going to be S90V. We're making some changes to the protos. We're kind of sharpening and deepening this fuller a little bit, so it's a little easier to middle finger flick, and also kind of making the top flipper a tad taller so it's easier to flip. I mean, I've had this thing for a long time, so I'm super used to it, but yeah, they're coming.
Very cool. Mark P, I would say that 154 is still a low, medium, middle, like mid-range steel, but low on the mid-range. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of getting into the budget area. It depends on who's making it and what they're doing with it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you see a lot of, I guess, CPM 154, the powder version of that, you see a lot in, actually, probably 154 CM. You see a lot of that in custom knives.
Right.
I think because it's easy to work with, and people still have a respect for it. Like, it's not 440C or anything. It holds an edge decently. It's a good kind of well-rounded steel. But I have a couple of customs, and I have a Ray Laconico custom that I'm pretty sure is 154 CM. It's not labeled, but he thinks it's 154 CM too.
That's awesome that you have that. That's
nice,
cool.
Dean.
And then Kyle says, Lush, it's nice and handed. Absolutely is. I got to review that one a while back. Very cool. So, Mark, I guess the answer to that question would be, I don't know if, 14C is loved by a lot of people because it's so consistent. I mean, I just think it's in a good price range, and it's very consistent, and it's not going to corrode on you like a D2 or something else like that. So I think that's the answer. And a 154 is just one that's been being used by a lot of Chinese manufacturers in that mid range. And I find it, again, that's why I decided to do it. I find it a little bump up from 14C for me. And it just, there you go. Jeremy says, 154 CM is a great steel. CPM 154 doesn't keep its biting sharpness for very long. I find 154 CM does keep an edge very good amount of time. It really does.
Yeah, wasn't that Benchmade's like baseline steel for a long time? 154
I believe so.
CM?
Yep, I believe you are correct. So it's and that's funny because that's one that's not really gone sour. It's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's definitely still pretty popular.
Yep.
So Carolyn, everybody sharpens in a different way. I'm not good at freehand sharpening a knife. If you can do that, then more power to you. Most of us use different systems or things like that hold the knife at an angle. But yeah, you can definitely do that. If you know what you're doing, you can definitely sharpen a knife very well with a stone in your backyard.
Or like the bottom of a mug or something, if you got some ceramic.
Yep. I've seen people do it on the top of their car window. But I have seen people do that, but I'm not your guy. I'm definitely not your guy. Plus, I would break the car window because I'm a friggin' klutz. So that's just
I just have this.
My dad. That's all my dad did was freehand sharpen on stones. My dad would get a knife so sharp. If you freaking touch that, you've seen some of us reviewers where take our, our nail or tip of our finger and just touch. You would touch my dad's knives and you'd bleed. I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just used the that Work Sharp field sharpener thing.
Yep,
that
works.
And it has a fine side and a coarse side and a strop and a little ceramic rod to hone it. It's awesome. And I've sharpened a bunch of my knives on that. But I have like a old Delica VG10 that I kind of practiced on, and man, you can get VG10 like screaming sharp on those things.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people kind of rag on VG10 these days, and that stuff will cut. I mean, there's a lot of really good steels out there. There really are.
I like VG10. I mean, just for the sake that I know that I can sharpen it myself really, really easily.
Yep. All right, a little advertisement now. Here's the thing, guys. We're gonna do a giveaway, but we'll do it closer to the bottom of close to 9:30. I got a bunch of stuff back here. I'm not going to show it right now. You need to be here at the end, and you need to have a U.S. mailing address, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and show what our hashtag is, and all you need to do is put this in the comments one time from one account for each person, and all it needs to be is hashtag Growler, and you do need to do this case sensitive, okay? So hashtag Growler, and this is where we explode the chat, and it goes crazy for a couple of minutes here. But go ahead, you can start doing that, and we will introduce what the giveaway is here in a little while. Yeah, Kevin was telling me he could probably be on here at 9:30, Colin, and I tell him I'll probably be rapping at 9:30, dude. I'm tired, man. By that time, it's time for me to start going upstairs, seeing my kids for a little while, my wife, and relaxing for a few minutes. But I got to box up. I got to box up a microburst. I got to box up the giveaway. I've already got 2 or 3 packages waiting to go out tomorrow, and I'll have more. So, got stuff to do, man.
That's right.
Crazy, Kevin. So,
yeah, Kevin. I'll get like a barrage of texts from Kevin at like 1:30 in the morning every night.
Me too.
I'm like, do you not? How do you? And then he's like answering emails at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't think he sleeps.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. If you guys have more questions, you got a little bit of more time here to ask Colin some more questions. I just like sitting here chatting with you, dude. It's fun.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, this game is not an exact science. This is literally us just throwing stuff out there and putting some risk into it, or or like you said, there's a lot less risk in the selling, licensing the designs.
Yeah.
But it's still, either way, you're putting yourself out there, and I think it's cool that you guys do it, man.
Thanks. Well, we appreciate it.
Josh. Josh, everybody's grateful for you being here. Appreciate it very much. Let's talk a little bit more about the mud. He doesn't even have one right now, but they are still available. And as far as I know, all 3 varieties are available to you. He's got the red, white, and blue Chinese fat carbon, or whatever you want to call it, the green, and then the green and yellow. So do you have any specific questions, Dan, about the mutt? Or we did talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's great. And there is a Dave gave me a code.
Very cool.
I think it's like a
screw science. I have faith in y'all. That's hilarious. Colin, do you remember the dummy that lost his knife at Blade Show? Jim says, "You're not a dummy, Jim."
Oh yeah.
He kept dropping the same $10 bill right in front of my booth, and I picked it up like 3 times. I'm like, Jim, you've lost your money.
I talked to Jim for a while at Blade Show.
Jim's awesome. Absolutely enjoyed chatting with him.
Yeah, it's so fun meeting you guys at Blade Show, man. And are you going, Casey? Are you going to Blade Show West?
I am not. We were trying to swing it, and it just hasn't panned out. If I had sold more microbursts, I think I would, but just haven't done as well as I was hoping to do. So don't have the money to do it.
VIP 5 is the code, I think, through the Divo Knives website. That I think it's a 5% code.
Tim, do you or Keith mind putting up the link to the to your website for me where the mutt is, please? How many Tucson designs? Colin, how many Tucsons do you have?
Just 2.
Just 2.
Yep.
I was thinking 1, but that's cool that it's 2 of them.
Yeah, there's one, the one that I was chatting about earlier that they really made some kind of drastic changes to that I just don't talk about all that much. It's a good knife, but you know, I don't feel like I can claim it quite as my own. So but the first one I really like that they did. It's super chunky. I don't know if you ever handled one. It's the 319.
I have not.
It's so fat. Like, it's the fattest knife that I have. This is another one of those things about doing a collab with a company like Tucson that there's really not a lot of back and forth with. And I just see it pop up on eBay one day and they send it to me in the mail, and then I'm like, oh my God, this thing is super. It's like over a half-inch thick. It's a small knife too. It's like less than, it's less than a 3-inch blade for sure. And it's like
one of those where it's as fat as it is long kind of thing.
That's what it feels like. It's very ergonomic. I mean, it feels great in the hand, but
there you go. Jim, thank you very much, man. And there's the link to the mutt. VIP 5 gets you 5 off. Go check it out. And then Addicted to Knives says he's got both of the Tucson knives.
So. Oh, yeah. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, he's the Tucson guy. So
hell yeah.
All right, this is different across the board too, Frank. How many prototypes are generally needed before a final design is reached? Does an OEM make one, ship it to you, then you review it, send it back, blah blah blah? Sure, Colin. What's the process that you've kind of lived with?
I mean, we will typically get one, pass it around, get feedback, and I think in the case of like the Growler or the Stout V2, I believe we had a couple of prototypes before we were happy with settling on it and telling them to pull the trigger. Oftentimes the changes are small enough that we can kind of tell, like it's like lock bar access or something like that we're like, pull that back, and I'll mock it up and give them a really specific sort of drawing to work from. And we'll see it and we'll say, okay, we don't need to wait another month for you to send it to us. And, so it depends,
Yep.
Usually
I'm in the same exact process.
Yeah. But we almost always make changes from the first prototype they send us, and usually multiple changes. So their prototypes are super crucial and, for companies like us. And they're not cheap.
No, definitely not.
That's one of the things of doing it this way.
You don't want to keep making them and making them and making them. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to pay for them.
Yeah. And Frank, it has a lot to do with how you feel about your OEM too. And what kind of risk you think you're actually taking on making it. If you feel like the biggest thing for me, and Colin, I don't know if Kevin's doing most of the communication with the OEMs or if you are, but my biggest thing is, did they actually understand what I said?
Yeah.
If they, and I will actually ask them to please repeat back to here's the email, please write it back to me how you understand it. And they do that for me, and they will write back, you have said you want to do this, and they'll even sometimes send a little drawing of what they think.
Yeah.
And we can do, so if you feel comfortable that you can work through that process and you can get from, lower the thumb stud by 1/8 of an inch, and you feel like
right,
they actually understand what you're saying, then I think you just move forward. But if you're not getting it across, you either let the change go, or then you have to get another set of prototypes. But
yeah,
it just depends.
Yep.
Yeah.
Communication is really, and if you get the sense that there's not something's not clicking right on their end or something, then I'll just send over a mock-up. I mean, I'm able to sort of make the change in my programs and send it to them, and that always helps.
There you go. Tim put up, apparently, guys, look at that. Tim's got you covered.
Nice.
So there is the Royal Frame Lock in titanium and M390. Welcome 8 saves you 8%.
Awesome.
So that is cool. There you go. Somebody was asking for that a minute ago. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Very cool. So Frank, yes. I still send them measurements, in other words, length in inches and sometimes millimeters. I'll do both. But yeah, what they're going to send you is going to be a metric. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to make sure I get across what I'm trying to get across. So I'll do it in both a lot of the times, just to make sure I get it across. Oh, wow. Okay. So they're already 44% off when you put them in your cart, and then an additional 8 with welcome 8. So yeah, they're on a fire sale. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know how they do that, but they definitely do. That's pretty cool. Yeah. The 12-hour time difference. Kubi is always answering my questions at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
11
exactly.
to 12 to 1 always. And so
there's always a flurry of emails that we're responding to at night, just to get it in, so we don't have to wait a whole nother, 12-hour cycle. The time difference is rough.
Right. And when you're in the middle of several different things at once, it's just like, it can be real tough. So, and you guys have a lot more irons in the fire than I do. So,
Kevin's great at keeping all that stuff straight. Like I can't, my brain doesn't work like that. I need like a spreadsheet in front of me at all times.
I have notepads and spreadsheets, and that's the only way, man. I can't keep track of it otherwise. Pizza operator, he's talking about the Kubi Royal in titanium. He put the link up there just a moment ago. It's $168 if you use put it in your cart and use the code WELCOME8, and that's for titanium and M390, and a fantastic knife for sure.
Yeah, they did an awesome job on these.
Yeah, how much is the mutt? $250?
It's $250, and then you can get a 5% off of that.
Yep. So either way, great pricing.
So that's a little bit more of a premium deal, I guess.
Yeah. Plus, you've got the fat carbon, and
the fat carbon on these is really cool. I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
It's different for sure.
The Chinese fat carbon, or whatever we're calling it, it's very vibrant. Like the colors in it are super. They pop a lot.
Yep. That's one of the things about some. Now, that's one of the reasons I like the Arctic Storm, because the colors stand out really nice.
Yeah.
But some of the fat carbons, it's like when Ben has done a couple from Jack Wolf, there's some of the colors that just like that pink. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's like wah, 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 and it's like, oh man, it's tough,
Yeah, it's funny. The whole fat carbon thing is so interesting to me, because I don't own a single fat carbon knife myself personally. We make a lot of them because I know they're very popular, but I'm much more of a plain tie or micarta type of person, but I know that, I mean, you saw that super clear with Ben and Jack Wolf, where
it's popular.
The micarta ones weren't selling as well as the carbon, or as the carbon ones, and I don't know. That was just such an interesting kind of case study in micarta versus carbon fiber. And Kevin and I argue about this all the time, because every time I do a knife rendering for us, I'll mock it up in micarta, and he's like, "What are you doing? Micarta's dead. Just use some sort of fat carbon or something." And I just can't. I mean, I just don't like fat carbon as much as I like micarta.
Right.
But I get that it's,
And I kind of go back and forth. I like fat carbon, but I got to tell you, and sometimes look at this thing. This is the Best Tech Keen 2. Look at that carbon fiber, and you ought to see it in the sun.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. And so you get something like that, and that's just plain old shred carbon fiber.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a This is kind of
thing looks
outside
awesome.
your size wheelhouse,
Yeah.
man. But
Yeah.
look at that. This thing is. I love this thing.
What is that, like a 4-inch blade or something? That's
Yeah, I think that is. It's a 10-inch knife.
jeez.
It's a 4-inch cutting edge, dude.
Wow.
It
That's
is right at just over 4 1/4.
wow.
On the blade, and the handle is 5 1/2.
Yeah,
So
that's a
yeah,
monster.
it is.
That's huge.
It's a freaking monster. They did everything they could to trim weight. Even this, cutting the tang down. So
Yeah.
it's a circle here. There's no liner on the
Right.
carbon fiber at all. Not
Wow.
even a partial liner.
Wow.
They did everything they could. Total milling on the inside of this. It's fantastic, but it is big. It is a big knife. Carbon fiber is dumb. Okay, 5-door. The Kubi Royal. Okay, I actually can get on board with Louis' comment here. I would love a slightly larger Royal. That's me.
No,
I would be all over that.
Well, that's not out of the question. I know Kobe wants to keep going with this knife, so you don't see them do a whole lot of like small, large versions. Like they have a design and they'll stick with it, but I think this knife sells pretty well for them, so maybe they'll be into a bigger one. I know that a lot of people. I mean, I get that all the time with like that Best Tech lockback I did. People want a bigger version of that. I'm just a smaller knife guy. Like most of my knives are about 3-inch, 3-inch blade, 4-inch handle kind of thing.
Yep. And you obviously have a blade shape that you really like, and that's cool. I mean, you know what you like, and that's what you go with, and I think that's cool. I think every knife should be available in a 4-inch to 4.25-inch version. Says Will B. There you go. There you go. I like silver twill carbon fiber, Steve. It gives you a nice little grip. That's not what this is. This is more just like a shred. But yeah, and I think textures are important. That's why I decided to go with the milling lines on the Jetstream when it comes out. It's going to have milling, but everybody's Tim B's on your side. He loves the smaller knives. Yeah, and a lot of people seem to be actually. For me, I'm more in the 7.5 to 8.5 is my wheelhouse. As far as an overall size.
Yeah, that's right, Kyle.
Not a blade.
Exactly what happened.
There you go.
David asked, has he ever seen a Kubi branded knife in micarta? Yeah, they do micarta.
A branded one though. Yeah, I think that they have. They just don't seem to do a ton of it.
They don't do a ton of it, but
they like
I'm
G10,
looking at their website
really
right now, like the Ruckus. You can get in a few different.
That's right. And the Ruckus is a fantastic knife.
Yeah.
All right, guys, real quick. Do not forget, if you have not entered yet, it looks like we got 100 entries and 128 people in here.
Woo!
Hashtag Growler in the chat. So definitely go and do that. And I will show off here what we're going to give away momentarily. Matter of fact, let me get it all over here in front of me. Good Lord. I give away too much stuff. I need to slow down. Look at all this. This is all the stuff for the giveaway tonight. By the way, Ashlyn has been at class all day, and now she's at archery practice. So there will probably not be a bunny in tonight's giveaway. So for whoever wins, I'm very sorry, but school comes first. I have told her that over and over and over again. But you do get a Killer Bunny sticker, and so that is cool. And I'm dropping everything all over the floor.
Okay, Z Knives. 4.75-inch blade for a folder, dude. That's crazy. I don't know that I've never handled a knife that big.
4.75-inch blade.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. So the biggest knife I have as far as a folder is the Hoback Summit. And this is like 10 and a quarter.
Yeah.
It's a friggin' ridiculous beast. But I love it. It's fun. Listen to the sound. Oops. Of course I screw it up. But I mean, when you really get a good look at that. I mean,
those are awesome. I've handled those before. They're crazy.
it's a heck of a sound on that thing. All right, so you get Butter Knives Fast number 119, signed by Mr. Trev.
Nice.
What is that signature? I don't even know. Sometimes I wonder about that kid. But and he's I don't know where he is. He was in class late tonight too. And then all the stickers, you got Knives Fast stuff in there, Lefty, Blue Creek Knives, Big Red, Bees Blades, Bluminati Ninja, SMKW, Issuing Stitches, Oh Father. There's so much stuff in here. I'm not going to go through it all, but trust me, it's in there. There's Tempest stickers in there as well. And then you get an Issuing Stitches Chinese takeout Hank. Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just think that's cool. I don't know why. I just think it's cool. So the Issuing Stitches Chinese takeout Hank. And then you get a tool along multi-tool sloth from Tim B. Thank you, Tim, for sending these along. Very cool. And then let's look at the knife. And there's also a flashlight tonight. What is wrong with me?
Damn,
I just
man.
like you guys. So we went with a green theme tonight. Tonight's theme is green. So we have a Concept Main Street, which I can't apparently open. Concept Main Street, Dirk Pinkerton design in green micarta.
Axis lock one, huh?
Yep, this is the crossbar lock one. It's a little, I still wish the spring was a little stronger, but it's not bad. Once you get used to it, it's not bad. And then to match these green thumb studs, we have a Olight i5R, right? Which one is this? Yeah, i5R. So this is the rechargeable i5R EOS to match those beautiful, crazy green thumb studs there.
That's awesome.
And so we've got a heck of a giveaway tonight. So if you have not entered, definitely hit that hashtag Growler with a capital G. What's up, Oreo Dave? And then we're going to wrap this up, guys, because I'm tired and we need to let Colin go. And just don't forget about Thursday. Would love to see my prediction come true and those things sell out real quick.
Thursday at noon.
Yep.
These things are awesome. They really do feel they're another level above the original Growlers.
I think so. Yeah, I think you said it real correctly earlier. It feels like a different knife.
Yeah.
It's not a different knife because it's roughly the same knife, but it's at a level that's way nicer.
Yeah.
So, yep. And I don't know. I'm curious to see again if we're right. I think the carbon fiber will go first. I really do.
That's the one I would get for sure.
That would be my guess, but we shall see. All right, guys, we'll give it just another minute here. I'll put this up and do that when we got 112, it looks like, out of 128 people. So we'll give it about another minute, and then I'm going to draw. And again, you do need a U.S. mailing address for sure. I love all my winnings. Yeah, whenever it was, Stacy, but very cool. Yeah, I do so many giveaways, I can't keep up with who won when.
I won something on the Knife Nuts podcast live last week or a couple weekends ago, I guess. It was this crazy big fixed blade from gosh, I'm blanking on the brand, but it's awesome. It's a monster. I'm not a fixed blade guy, but this thing is a monster, dude. I love it.
Cool. That's awesome. All right, guys, about 10 seconds, and I'm going to do this. So if you have not done it, you got 10 seconds to type the word Growler with a capital G and a hashtag. 5, 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. Bam! There we go. It's rolling. Let's see who our winner is. I'm on a losing streak. There you go. Ah, Sharp Guy.
Sharp
Whoa,
Guy.
there we go. Very cool. Sharp Guy's
Congrats,
here all
man.
the time. That's really cool. I love it.
That's a
So
great
Sharp,
that's a great win.
yeah. I mean, like I said, when you're two-fisting your
Yeah,
giveaway
right.
stuff, you know, it's pretty good, man. I remember when I first started doing this, and again, by the way, this is a tribute to folks that send me stuff to review, and you guys know this comes. Concept sent me the knife, and Olight sends me flashlights all the time. I do keep some of the stuff that I get sent, but I give the vast majority of it away. And so when I first started doing these, Colin, this is number 130.
Wow.
KFLive number 130, and I've pretty much done a giveaway every one. But when I first started doing it, it'd be like a $20 or $30 knife.
Yeah,
That was it. Some stickers, and now we're giving away like stuff that most, back in the day, this would have been like a 5,000 subscriber giveaway or something.
That's great.
And I'm giving away crazy stuff every Monday night because people send me stuff, and it's not going to be like this every time. It just so happens that I have some good stuff in right now. And
awesome.
People like Tim B sending stuff and different stuff. That's awesome. So Sharp Guy, you need to send me an email, knivesfast@gmail.com, and give me your actual name that you want it mailed to and your address, and I will get this out to you ASAP. So very much appreciate all of you being here. Sharp Guy, congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Yeah. So Colin, hope everything goes really well. Oh, so in order, real quick as we wrap up. So we got Growler, and then what's next? Is Lush next after that, or?
I bet the nip. The nip is
okay.
probably next. After the Growler. These are pretty much ready to go. I think Kevin's moving, so we're kind of waiting on some logistical things on our side, figuring out where to ship things to. But the nip is going to be next, and then I bet the Lush is soon after that.
Sure.
And then we'll probably have another run of the mash sometime in there.
Trevor wanted to say hi, so everybody say hi to Trev. Look, Colin says hello. This is Colin.
How's it going, man?
Actually willingly works with Kevin on a knife company on purpose, so I'm not sure why anyone would do that. But
yeah, I don't either. I question it all the time.
You look like you got burnt today or something, or is that from the football game this weekend?
Game.
So the at the university he goes to, the students literally face the sun the whole time, and I would say there was probably 8,000 students.
No, more than that.
So 8 or 9, maybe 9,000.
Wow.
You think there was 10 crammed in there?
Yeah.
That student section was full. It was crammed, and so they all sit there, and I'm on the side with the sun at my back, and I'm watching them over there getting cooked.
All the people that painted up have like the lines.
I saw that. So there was a whole group of them that painted letters on their chest, dudes, and they've been posting pictures on Instagram and Facebook and stuff with the letter outlined, because the paint covered it up.
Oh yeah.
So they got the sunburnt, A or F or whatever letter it is, and I'm like,
That's great.
God, that's pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. Look at that. Everybody's putting up the T-Rex emojis there. Oh, let me ask you guys a favor while we still got a bunch of people in here. I dropped a video today on our, Colin, you may not know this. I have another channel. We're crazy. We do another channel called Stuff Casey Does. And it's mostly disc golf at this point, but it's going to be some hiking and stuff soon too. Fishing in the fall, hopefully. But again, I'm working so much this fall. Who knows? Doing football and then basketball is going to kick in November. But anyway, I dropped a new video on Stuff KC Does, and when I started this stream, it only had like 7 or 8 views. So please, some of you guys go over there, check it out for me. And Trev, we had a lot of fun yesterday playing, and would like to see it get some views. So
that's awesome.
If y'all wouldn't mind doing that would be great. And you didn't draw a bunny. Nobody wants to see you. Everybody's going to
surprise one.
Huh?
Make it a surprise one. I'll draw it.
When are you going to draw it? I'm shipping it in the morning.
Yeah, I'll draw it tonight and give it to you. It won't be a surprise bunny.
All
They don't
right.
know what they're getting. You can take a picture of it and put it on your Instagram for the people who don't get to see it.
All right. Hi. So everybody say hi to Ashlyn. There she is. Very cool.
Hi.
And I still can't tell you anything, but she's working on something really cool that you guys are going to see shortly.
Awesome.
It's at some point, so you guys will enjoy that too. And you're just all countrified tonight. I don't know what's happening.
Probably smell great. I was out shooting archery and
in
like,
the heat. Y'all were
heat.
outside. Okay.
Yeah, we were shooting up on the mountain too. So like the sun was coming down on us and I was sweating like crazy. I chugged my water bottle and a Powerade all the way down and sweated every bit of it.
Yeah, it got up to like 96 here today or something like that. So
yeah, it was same here.
Same
Brutal.
there. Yeah, you're in the you usually get even a little more humidity than we do. So.
Yeah.
Yep. Casey, you know she can knock the bunnies out in minutes. We've seen her do it, says Jeremy. Yep. All right, we'll do that. I'll leave the envelope open until she gets that done, and we will stick that in here for Sharp Guy. Sharp Guy is our winner. So, yep. All right. Well, Colin, I said I would let you go at 9:30, and it's 9:35. So, we're late, so we can't be friends.
All good, man. This is awesome. I had a great time. Thanks for having me on.
Guys, don't forget the Growlers Thursday. Yep, Growler City Thursday. White Mountain Knives. Use code KnivesFast. It'll get you 10% off on this bad boy. And I think you guys are going to be happy with these, no matter which one you pick. I think you'll be very, very happy with them.
Yeah. Thanks for
what do
all
you think?
support.
Wait, let's tell you what, Colin. We're going to do this. This is a bad idea, but we're going to do. We used to do these Trevor Turbo reviews. Let's just stick this in his hand, and if he hates it, this could be bad. This could ruin your whole day on.
Come on, Trevor.
Oh, he did it. All right.
Nice. Nailed the reverse flip.
That's actually really smooth.
Nice.
I like it.
I like it. What do you give it?
I'll give it an 8.75.
An 8.7. That's pretty good on the Trevor rating system. That's
take that, man.
This is a guy that thinks the Spyderco Sage 5 is a piece of trash. So, which is one of my favorite knives.
I think the Spyderco everything.
Yes, he does not like anything Spyderco.
You would have been right at home with at the end of archery practice.
They were all flinging knives.
No, there was a guy at the end of practice who saw my CRKT
the fighter, BT fighter.
No, the
Mom's calling
minimalist. I had my minimalist on my keychain.
Spider-Man.
And he saw the minimalist.
See you, Trev.
He goes, "Is that CRKT?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's CRKT." And he goes, "Yeah, cool. I love CRKT." And he pulls out a knife and starts talking about it. And then he's like, "What other knives do you like?" Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I was like, Finch Flint, CRKT BT Fighter, the Tempest knife, and I was like, the Tempest knife. He was like,
"What's that?"
He was like, "What's Tempest?" He knew what Jack Wolf's was. So that was cool.
Man, what the heck?
But
people like me out here talking about Jack Wolf more than
No, I mentioned your channel and he said your knives looked really cool. He kept asking me like the materials and stuff, and I was like, I know like this much of the material stuff. Like I can tell you that.
In fairness, when she helps, she
micarta,
does not QC. She packs. Okay, it's okay.
Like I know, like I know that the microburst was micarta.
Nice.
And you had wheels that you could switch for it.
Yeah.
And then with stonewash and blackwash.
There you go.
Perfect.
That's all you need to know.
I mean, you have the reverse,
the
reverse tucks, and then the stonewash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you're nailing it. Do you see?
I just don't know
you
the
got
name
it all
of the
down.
material.
Well, this is titanium. In this particular case, yeah, and 154 CM is the steel, but you don't need to know that. It's okay.
I know that what a cool knife looks like. That's
Yep.
There you go.
All right. Well, she's gonna draw you something here, Sharp Guy. And yeah, how did you shoot with a wrist brace on?
They said 2 weeks for work, I assume 2 weeks it goes for most everything.
So she took it off.
So I took it off and wore my compression glove instead, like just a compression glove.
Yeah.
It pushes
Chuck.
It's not anything.
All right, we'll let you guys go, Colin. I've kept you long enough. So very cool. Trev is more of a Dolica kind of guy. There you go, Keith. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much,
everybody, for
being here. And I don't think we have a guest next week. I think you guys are stuck with me. Oh, by the way, Friday's live stream and on into Monday night, we're going to kind of celebrate 7 years of Knives Fast. The 8th, so Friday, the 8th is 7 years of the Knives Fast channel. Probably won't do a giveaway Friday, but who knows? You guys don't never know what happens with me. But next Monday, we'll celebrate it with a special giveaway on the stream next Monday, and maybe do some looking back at maybe we'll show my goofy first video that everybody loves so much.
That's amazing, man. Congrats. It's a long time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right, Colin, have a great one, my friend.
Thanks, everybody.
Guys, give us a thumbs up on your way out. And thanks so much for watching the Knives Fast channel.
Appreciate you having me
See you
on.
guys. Yeah, no problem, man. Oh, it didn't go away yet. Hold on. All right.